Okay, so today we're going to be going over this hadith. I want us to memorize this hadith too. Not too hard. اغتنم خمسا قبل خمس. This hadith right here summarizes a person's entire life. It goes like this: اغتنم خمسا قبل خمس. It starts from the bottom. شبابك قبل هرمك. And then right next to it, وصحتك قبل سقمك. And then up, وغناك قبل فقرك. وفراغك قبل شغلك. وحياتك قبل موتك. So it's like a zigzag. Okay? You see how it's drawn, it's organized. So here Rasulullah is advising us. He's advising all humans. The name of our program is Living with Purpose. So Rasulullah here, he's telling us things that we have to take advantage of in life. He's saying take advantage of 5 things before 5 things come up. So imagine him sitting down, he's together with the Sahaba, and he's telling them, I want you guys to take advantage of these 5 things before another 5 things come up. The first thing that he mentioned was what? What does it say? شبابك قبل هرمك. What does this mean? What does it mean? Take advantage of your youth before your old age. So Rasulullah is advising the Sahaba. He's saying take advantage. He's telling us too. Take advantage of your youth before you get older. He's giving us all this advice. Some people, we feel that Islam is a religion just for older people. Once you get older, you start becoming practicing. Once you get older, you start praying more. You start getting a connection with Allah. When a person's young, they're busy, they have everything around. We see how Rasulullah used to emphasize so much on the youth. The youth. He used to send armies and have a person who's still 18 years old lead this entire army. Imagine, an 18-year-old leading thousands of people. Rasulullah used to send youth, young people, to go guide countries, to guide villages. Who did Rasulullah send to Medina? A very young man, Mus'ab bin Umair. A young man that's similar to our age. Rasulullah went and he sent them. So we see the importance of youth in Islam. Rasulullah here is telling us, take advantage of your youth before you get older. Why is a person's youth age so important? What do you guys think? Yes?
They have more experience and more time, while older people, they have less time and less energy.
When a person's young, they have so much energy, right? It's as if somebody's, putting steroids inside you. You're always moving. You want to do so much. That's why always in history, the ones that used to lead evil were young people, and the ones that used to lead good were young people. They were the ones that were pushing the force, doing more and more. Yes.
Yeah, I think that's right what you said. I would also say I feel like when you're young, if you do good things, it kind of builds the foundation.
صح, أحسنت. Builds the foundation. That's what I was trying to. That's what we were starting with. When a person does something when they're young, this builds the foundation to when you get older. When you have a tree, if the roots are bad, are you going to have a strong tree? A tree that gives good fruits? When you have strong roots, you're able to have a strong tree. So right now in our age, teenage age, early 20s, this age right here is the time where you are structuring and you are building your future. You are basically right now, when a person is driving, and the highway now splits into 2. You got the west and you got the east. During your youth days, you either go this way and it stays that way, or you go this way and it stays that way. And if you want to leave, for example, when you miss the exit, what happens? You have to wait to the next exit later on, then make a U-turn, then come back in the highway, and then it's much harder. So when a person's young, they are now making the decision to either come through the right path or go through the wrong path. What you do when you're young, it makes and it structures your entire future that's going to come. It's an age where you are building the foundation. It's very hard for a person to change when they're already older. Do you guys know a basketball player that started going pro when he was 30 years old? 35 already? It's hard, right? You can't just right now start practicing. Does anyone, a soccer player, do they plan to go pro when they're already 30? You have to start young. Same thing with your relationship with Allah. Why, is there a player you have in mind?
I just saw a video the other day. I don't remember his name.
So a person has to start young. It's hard for you to build, to have strong fruits if you don't have strong roots. So during a person's youth age, you're building the roots for your future. Also, it's like clay. Do you guys know how what clay is? It's easy to move, right? Easy to structure, easy to make something through it. When a person's young, it's easy for them to structure themselves. It's easy to get used to doing certain things, to get used to doing good actions. And it's easy also to get addicted to doing bad things. And it becomes harder for you to stop it later on if you continue doing it when you're young. So it structures. And also it decides, it builds your personalities. Also, when a person's young, everything starts becoming bonus. Your good actions start bonusing. You guys know that? When you're young, the actions that you do are bonused up. So for example, you guys used to play Subway Surfers? Or jetpack joint, or like Temple Run? You guys know how sometimes they give you the ×2? Yeah. So if you get a coin, it's 2 coins. Then you're trying to get more coins during that time. So during the ×2, like when you're playing Subway Surfers, when it's ×2, you try to get all the coins. You're trying to not miss it. You don't want to jump on top of a coin. Trying to get every single coin. When you're young, your edge is ×2. You're getting more reward. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives you even more when you're young. Why is it that? Because it's harder for you to do good. It's harder for you to stay away from bad. Right now in the 21st century, we see so many distractions, so many things that are pulling us towards haram. When we stay away from haram, Allah is going to give us double the reward. If there's a man who's 20 years old, walking in the street, and there's an 80-year-old man walking in the street, and there's a beautiful lady that passes in front of them, the old man lowers his gaze, and the young man lowers his gaze. What's more special?
Young man.
When the old guy does it or when the young guy does it? When the young guy lowers his gaze. Why?
Because old man's not going to be attractive.
Because it's harder for him, right? It's harder for the young man to lower his gaze. So when something is harder for you to do, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives you even more reward. When you're in campus and you're lowering your gaze and you're young and you have the capability and all the haram is open for you to do and you stay away from it, that's even more ajr. So it's bonus. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala even He makes a young person who continuously worships Allah and stays in the worship and stays in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's worship always, Allah makes this person VIP in the Day of Judgment. Rasulullah, he mentions a hadith, which I think that many of you may heard. He says that there's 7 people on the Day of Judgment that will be under the shade of Allah that day where there is no shade except the shade of His throne. The first person is Imamun Adil, a just leader. The second person is what? Shabun nasha'a fi ibadatillah. A young person who grew up in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's worship. So imagine you right now have the chance to buy that ticket. To buy that ticket to get under the shadow of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's throne when you are in this age right now. This is the key and this is the golden moment. You either get it right now or it's going to be very hard for you to get it later on. So here Rasulullah is saying that one of the people that are going to be under Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's the shade of His throne is a young person who grows up in the worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You have all the distractions, you have so many things that could push you away, but you are trying to build that relationship with Allah. You are coming to the masjid, you are doing more khair. Not only that, we can get both of them. One of them is Shabun nasha'a fi ibadatillah. There's another one that is related to us nowadays. Who knows? Rasulullah here says, وَرَجُلٌ دَعَتْهُ إِمْرَأَةٌ ذَاتُ مَنْصِبٍ وَجَمَالٍ فَقَالَ إِنِّي أَخَافُ اللَّهِ. A lady is calling him towards haram. A beautiful lady. And he comes and says, no, I fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We could get both of these. We could get both tickets to being under the throne of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the shadow of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's throne. Nowadays, it's not just رَجُلٌ دَعْتُ إِمْرَأَةٌ, one lady's calling you towards doing haram. Nowadays, it's millions of ladies that are online. Ads that are popping up. Even sometimes when you're reading an article that's a religious article, something just pops up right there. That's right there, رَجُلٌ دَعْتُ إِمْرَأَةٌ. That's haram calling you. So when you see yourself in this moment, remind yourself that right now I have the chance to buy a ticket to being under the throne of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on the Day of Judgment. So when you're young, it's bonus. You have a bigger opportunity to do good. Also, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for us to relate, He gives us examples in the Quran of young people. When you guys think of prophets, what comes to mind? Like, how old is a prophet usually? Already older, صح? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He mentions to us prophets not only when they're older, when they're younger. Prophet Yusuf, Allah is mentioning him when he was still in his 20s. Prophet Ibrahim, Allah is mentioning when he was still in his teenage years. So sometimes when we come and we try to remember and try to understand the prophets, we just understand them as people who are already older. They're already sitting in the corner of the masjid, they're praying, they're alone, they're holding that stick. No. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is mentioning to us prophets when they're young. And through these prophets, we could find role models. For example, Prophet Yusuf. Prophet Yusuf, the most handsome. Imagine, the ladies, all the ladies in Egypt, the beautiful ladies, the ones that were in control, the princesses, they were all chasing after him. And he was a slave. All the ladies, I'm not saying one, all of them were chasing after this guy. And he was young, and he was handsome, and he was a slave. We could relate to him when we go through this. We see then he went and he stayed away from haram. And like how we said last week, what did he say? He said, Ya Allah, I would rather go to jail than me going to do haram. Ya Allah, please take me to jail, Ya Allah. I would rather go to jail than me do this haram. And we see that he stayed away when he was young from haram. So when he grew up, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave him the entire world. So a person has to know, when you are young, you have a golden opportunity to prove to Allah that you are worthy of getting all His blessings when you grow up. Prophet Yusuf stayed away from the haram when he was young. He went to jail, he came out, he became the king of Egypt. Took control of it all. His brothers who threw him in the well, they ended up coming to him, asking him for help. He was in control of it all. Why is it that? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when He explains why did Prophet Yusuf get all this, He says, وَكَذَلِكَ نَجْزِي الْمُحْسِنِينَ. When a person is good, specifically when you're young, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala then opens the entire path. I'm trying to go to dental school. I'm trying to go to medical school. The best way to try to pave this way and path to success, getting into medical school, getting into dental school, getting into a program that I want. The best way to pave the path is through building a relationship with Allah when you are young. Because He sees you and He sees you as one who deserves and is worthy of all His blessings. And He ends up opening for you the red carpet. So when a person's young, they have a golden opportunity to prove to Allah, I am worthy, Ya Allah, of you giving me all the blessings. Another example is Prophet Dawood. You guys heard of Prophet Dawood, صح? What was Prophet Dawood? He was the king, صح? Yeah. He owned Allah, he ruled over a large portion of the world. Prophet Dawood. Where did his story start?
He killed Jalut.
How old was he when he killed Jalut? He was still young, صح? Very young man. Very young. But he went and he fought and he did good and he proved to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that he is worthy of Allah taking care of him. So when a person does good when they're young, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala then puts down all the blessings when you get older. So when you're young, you have a golden opportunity to prove to Allah that you are deserving of His help once you grow older. We see another example, our Ashab al-Kahf. You guys heard of the people of the cave, right? How old do you guys think these people were, the ones in the cave?
They were teenagers when they went in, right?
13.
Were they like people already that had, holding the stick, and they were already older and kind of, they were running away because they didn't like their life? They were still young men. They were our age right here. Our age. And not only that, they weren't any normal people. They were part of the royal family. They had, not part of the royal family, but they had a high status within their community. They had it all. They had money, they had the houses, they had the wealth, they had everything around them. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, إِنَّهُمْ فِتْيَةٌ آمَنُوا بِرَبِّهِمْ. They were young men. Allah doesn't say إِنَّهُمْ, رِجَالٌ. Allah doesn't say إِنَّهُمْ, they're already older people. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says fityah. They were young people who believed in their Lord. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave them more. وَرَبَطْنَا عَلَىٰ قُلُوبِهِمْ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made their heart strong. Why? Because they were young. So you get more when you're good. And because they trusted in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah made their story live forever until today. He took care of them, made them sleep in the cave 300 years inside, protecting them. Anyone who gets close, right away gets struck. You're not able to get near. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala took care of these young people because they made Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala their priority. So when you're young, you have a chance to prove to Allah that I am worthy of you, Ya Allah, giving me all the blessings. We see also Prophet Ibrahim. Prophet Ibrahim, when he came, he destroyed the idols. He just reached the age of puberty, 13, 14, 15 years old. But you see how alert he was with his surroundings. He wasn't just a yes man. We shouldn't just be Muslims because our parents are Muslims. His surroundings, all of them, they were worshiping idols. The one that was taking care of him was worshiping idols in his house. But Prophet Ibrahim, from a young age, he knew that he has to find the truth. It's not enough that you come and just because I was born in this community, in this environment, that khalas, now I am going to follow what I was raised upon. No. You must go and learn. You must try to discover. You must try to become a strong Muslim, not just a Muslim who just receives all that they hear. You go and research, try to learn, build a relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Affect those who are around you. Prophet Ibrahim, when he was still young, he came, took the axe, destroyed all the idols. Young man, strong personality. We're scared when we're in front of a lot of non-Muslims to come say that we're Muslims. We don't feel that we are proud Muslims. Prophet Ibrahim at 13, 14 years old, came and announced to everyone that this is wrong, and he went and started giving them logical arguments. He told them, how about you go talk to this, because he put the X on the biggest idol. He said, go ask that big idol. He probably destroyed all of them. So Prophet Ibrahim at a young age, we see how he had a strong personality. He wanted to change those who are around him. And he was trying to get Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's pleasure. So when you're young, you have a golden opportunity to prove to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that you are worthy of His blessings once you get older. شاب نشأ في عبادة الله. Right here, why are we talking about a young person? وَشَبَابَكَ قَبْلَ هَرَمِكَ. A person must take advantage of their young days before they get older. Take advantage with memorizing. It's so easy for us to memorize Quran. Memorize more Quran. Because once you get older, you're 50, 60, 45 years old, it's much harder for you to memorize. It's much harder for you to understand. It's much harder for you to comprehend. Right now, our minds are the best it will ever be. So Rasulullah is saying, شَبَابَكَ قَبْلَ هَرَمِكَ. Take advantage of when you're young before you become old. Then what does he say? When you say it's a zigzag, صح? What's after that? وَغِنَاكَ قَبْلَ فَقْرِكَ. What does غِنَاكَ قَبْلَ فَقْرِكَ mean?
Your wealth before.
How does that work? What is he saying?
Use your wealth for, to be generous, use it for good, not to waste it.
صح.
And before losing it all.
Yes. Now, what do you think? What could we extract from this right here? So,
It could also be like spiritually rich as well. Like if you're spiritually poor, that means you're disconnected from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
so it could, yeah, so you're saying it could go both ways. It could be with, wealth when it comes to actual money, and also your spiritual enrichedness. Okay, how about you? What do you think?
Yeah, I was gonna say something. Like, if you have wealth, you should use it for good while you have it. Because if you lose it, then you'll be asked on the day of judgment.
Ahsant. The more you have, the more you'll be asked on the day of judgment. Some people think that because I have money, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves me. Or you look at other people who are so rich and you say, why is Allah giving them and He's not giving me? They come and they perceive a person being wealthy as this is a sign that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves this person. And we see this example in Surah Al-Kahf. How the people with the two gardens. The one that was boasting and the one that was prideful. What was he saying? He was saying, وَلَئِن رُدِدْتُ إِلَىٰ رَبِّي لَأَجِدَنَّ خَيْرًا مِنْهَا مُنْقَلَبًا. I have so much in this world, that means that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves me. If He's giving me all this right now, imagine what He's going to give me in the akhirah. He loves me so much. So some people, they perceive wealth as a sign that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves them. In reality, it's not. It's a test. So Rasulullah is saying, take advantage of the money that you have before the time of you becoming poor. It could either be in the day of judgment when you don't have anything, or in this world. Take advantage of when you have money. Give more. Because in reality, when you are giving, you are actually putting that money or anything you are giving, you are putting it in the bank. When I come right now and I have $1,000 and I go to the bank and I say I'd like to deposit $1,000, am I losing this money? Am I losing the money? It's going to the bank, or what is it going to?
Your savings.
It's going to my savings, right? So when I come and I give others, it could be $1, it could be $5, it could be $10. We don't belittle any amount that we give. If I give sadaqah to the masjid, if I give sadaqah to a person in need, you come and you do this good, in reality you are giving to yourself in the future. You are saving it. لا يبقى إلا ما يعطى. The only thing that stays is that what you give. So when I come and I give a person that's in need, I give him $10. In reality, I am not giving it to him. I am giving it to my savings account. I am putting it in my savings account on the day I need it most, in the day of judgment. An example of that is when a person, say you have gold, okay? Who lives in Detroit here? You live in Detroit? You live in the hood or no?
Near it.
Okay. Say you got a backpack that is full of gold inside, and you're going in the hood. No? So you're about to go inside, and you know there's a chance of this being taken away. And it's 12 a.m. at night. You're gonna get jumped. That's not that bad. I lived in Detroit. So it's 12 a.m. at night, and you have a bag full of gold, and you're about to walk in the hood. The best way of keeping this safe is what? Is giving it to somebody who's going to meet you at the other side. Once you finish and you walk through and you leave the hood, he meets you at the other side and he gives you your gold. That's the best way to having it saved, right? In this world, when we have all the wealth, the blessings, the money, we have so much, the best way to save that is by giving it charity. Because the day of judgment, it will come to you and it will come in front of you and it will be returned to you in the day you need it most. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will return that money to you and tell you, here, this is the money that you gave. And right now is the time that you need it most. So a person has to look at giving and has to look at money with a different perspective. Right now when I am giving to myself. The only thing that stays is what I am giving. One time Rasulullah, he asked Aisha, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa ala asked Aisha radiyallahu anha, he said, what is left? There was a sheep, and they gave most of the sheep away except the arm of the sheep. So Rasulullah asked Aisha, he said, what is left of the sheep? She said, Ya Rasulullah, ma baqiya minha illa katfiha. The only thing that's left is the sheep's arms. Rasulullah said, no. بقي كلها إلا كتفها. All of it has stayed except the arm. Why? Because we saved that to the day that we need it most. We saved it to the day of judgment. So a person has to always keep this in mind. وَغِنَاكَ قَبْلَ فَقْرِكَ. Take advantage of any time that you have money. It doesn't have to be a big amount that you're giving away. Any amount that you are able to give, try to give it to charity. Because through that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will even give you more. Ali radiallahu anhu says, استنزل الرزق بالصدقات. A person pulls down his sustenance, his rizq, through giving charity. You know, when you come and you shake a tree and the fruits come down? Same thing with your wealth. You have wealth that's waiting for you right there. The way for you to push it down, for you to have it down, is through giving, and more will come down. So Rasulullah is saying, take advantage of your richness before your poverty. So what do we say the first thing is what? What's the first thing? شبابك قبل هرمك. Say it. شبابك. شبابك قبل. Say it. 1, 2, 3. What does this mean? What's the second one? غناك قبل فقرك. You guys all have to memorize it before we leave. I want you guys to memorize it. At least we leave this class with this hadith. وَغِنَاكَ قَبْلَ فَقْرِكَ. What does it mean? Your wealth before your poverty. Your richness before your poverty. The third one is what? وَصِحَّتِكَ قَبْلَ سَقَمِكَ. I mixed it up. شبابك قبل هرمك. صحتك قبل سقمك. غناك قبل فقرك. فراغك قبل شغلك. وحياتك قبل موتك. It's mixed up right here, but just look at it as a Z. Okay? So, وصحتك قبل سقمك means what? Your health before you get sick. If I came to you and I told you, Bara, I tell you that I will give you $1 billion. Anyone's willing to do anything for $1 billion, صح? $1 billion, it's a lot. If I tell you I'll give you $1 billion, but I will take away your eyes, would you do it? Would you do it? Would you? You don't think so? So $1 billion, I'm telling you, I'll give you $1 billion, I'm just going to take away your eyes. Who would say yeah to that? You have a blessing worth $1 billion. Our net worth is $1 billion. Khalas. And sometimes you look at, okay, your net worth is what you have. We are worth so much. We have so much. Our eyes alone are worth billions of dollars. If somebody gave me $1 trillion, I will not give my eyes away. What am I going to do with the $1 trillion if I don't got my eyes? So, Rasulullah here is telling us, take advantage of your health before your illness. Be thankful to Allah when you are healthy. Before that time comes and you're sick, be thankful. Sometimes we only notice the blessing we have once it's taken away. We are so weak. It can't be that you only remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when you don't have anything, when you're sick. How bad is that? Imagine I have a friend that's only coming to me when he needs me. I'm going to look at him like, am I going to help him out? I might help him out, but I'm not going to have that same feeling and the same connection with him. When you remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala during your hard times, during your easy times, He will remember you during what? During the hard times. We see how weak we are. Our health is so important. You guys seen the UFC fight last week?
Yeah,
What happened? You guys seen it? This guy, his eyes got poked and went viral. Sah?
Did they ever watch John Jones fight? He does that all the time.
So his eyes were poked. Sah?
Yeah.
We see how weak a human being is. The other day an eyelash went in my eye. Khalas, I couldn't study anymore. I was like, I stayed 10 minutes trying to take the eyelash out. And it's a small eyelash. You see how weak we are? A human being is so weak without Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The body we have is nothing without the power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In reality, your eyes is just flesh. It's nothing without Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala putting that into power. So Rasulullah here is telling us, take advantage of your health before you get sick. Take advantage of it. Do good. Do more khair. Go and help out the community. Teach anyone that is in need of your help. A way that you could, do khair. Do it when you're still healthy. Before that time comes and you're sick. And you can't do it anymore. So Rasulullah here is saying, وَصِحَّتِكَ قَبْلَ سَقَمِكَ. Take advantage of when you're healthy before you get sick. So what do we say? The first thing is what? شبابك قبل هرمك. The second thing, وصحتك قبل سقمك. What's the third thing? وغناك قبل فقرك. The fourth thing, وفراغك قبل شغلك. What does this mean? Take advantage of the times you are free before you get busy, before you get occupied. We waste so much time nowadays. So much time. You guys know what's the average screen time? I was gonna ask you guys to open your phones and tell me your screen time, but I was like, I'm not gonna do that. You guys know what's the average screen time of a person from Gen Z? I think we're all from Gen Z here. This guy, he's trying to not expose himself. How much?
10 is crazy.
Average around 6 to 7 hours.
So the average is around 7 hours. 7, 8, and I go to 9 hours. When I was searching, some of them said 8 to 9, and some of them said 7 to 8. So imagine 8 hours wasting time on your phone. And we see the way that things, no, you don't have to look at your screen time. Well, 3? That's what I'm talking about. Good job. MashaAllah, MashaAllah. Today or all week?
All daily average from this week.
MashaAllah. MashaAllah. I like that. MashaAllah.
3 hours a month.
That's good. You guys know what's the average of a TikTok user?
10 hours.
No, not 10 hours.
That's why you don't have to.
The average hours, you don't have TikTok, صح?
No, I deleted it.
You deleted it? You got Instagram?
Yeah.
But TikTok is usually the most that was coming up.
Never downloaded it to begin with.
That's the best thing. Don't download it at all. But the average user of TikTok stays an hour on it each day. 1 hour. Imagine 1 hour. And you guys see even the way that the reels are structured, it's a way to keep your mind addicted to it. One video after another. It's not like this. Because this is less addictive to this. So they specifically make it this way. And not only that, you see that one video, it's so dangerous, the way that it's structured. One video that you're watching is like the people of Gaza just crying, and you see a child crying, and then you're like, oh, Ya Allah. You scroll, and then the next video is somebody dancing. And then you're like, you smile, and then the next video, you see Donald Trump coming up. And then the next video, some Quran recitation. And then the next video, so it's just like so many things. There are so many different topics that are coming up. And it destroys your mind completely. This is made to make our brains smaller. To make our attention span so small. We see nowadays, people can't last, an hour just listening to a lecture without opening their phone so many times. Sometimes I literally see people during a lecture in the university, they'll just scroll through Instagram. Nothing. Like, you're gonna close it and you're gonna forget what you just watched, but you're just addicted to opening your phone. The average person opens their phone 200 times a day. 200 times a day. So you see how much time people are wasting? That's why Rasulullah is saying, وَفَرَاغَكَ قَبْلَ شُغْلِكَ. Take advantage of that free time that you have before you get busy. We see how a person nowadays is trying to get entertained always. People take their phones to the bathroom and they're scrolling when they're in the bathroom. When you're driving, you're scrolling video after video after video. Or when you're sitting down at a family gathering, scrolling video after video. But how are you with salah? With salah, you're scrolling, you're jumping. Rak'ah after rak'ah after rak'ah. Like, to the point where you will say salams, and if you try to recall what you read during the salah, you don't even know. You're so occupied with everything that's around you that you forget Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You are in salah, but your mind is out of salah. Just because we're so busy. That's why one of the best ways, someone was asking me the other day, he was saying, Hashim, what's a way that I could stay focused during salah? I said, don't touch your phone 10 minutes before salah. Before salah, stay away from it. Allah wants us to get ready before entering salah. For that reason, we have wudu. Why wudu? To purify. Sometimes you're clean, your hands are clean, your face is clean, everything is clean. But Allah wants to get you in the mood of salah, in the environment of salah, so He makes you go make wudu. Allah makes a person come and give iqamah before salah. Why? So you can get in the mood before salah. Before you pray, you do the tawajjuh. You read the dua. And then once you pray, you're already in, focused. So us on the phone, Allahu Akbar. Allah is giving us all these steps before so we could focus and we could come into the salah and we are focused. So a person must take advantage of their free time by trying to do good. Try to stay away from things that are going to keep you occupied, that are going to waste your time. All those hours that you are spending is nothing. It's nothing in reality. Wasting video after video after video after video, and at the end of the day, you came out with no benefit. Then Rasulullah says what? The last one. وَحَيَاتَكَ قَبْلَ مَوْتِكَ وَحَيَاتَكَ قَبْلَ مَوْتِكَ. Take advantage of your life before death comes. Because the reality is, every single action that we do in this world, Allah will show us in the Day of Judgment. You will come in the Day of Judgment in front of the entire world. From the time of Adam until the last human being that is born, they will all witness every single second that you lived in your life. Every single thing that you did will be watched. So Rasulullah is saying, take advantage of your life before death comes. Before that book is closed, take advantage of it. It's like when a person's writing with a pencil compared to when you're writing with a pen. Nowadays they have erasable pens. But when you have a pen that doesn't erase, you write. Could you go back and erase? You can't. This world is like that. Your life now is like that. When you write something, it stays. It becomes a memory. That's why they asked one of the pious, what is the best advice that you have ever heard? And he mentioned to them, مَشَقَّةُ الطَّاعَةِ تَذْهَبْ وَيَبْقَى ثَوَابُهَا. That hardship that you face when you do a good action, that hardship goes away. And the thing that stays is the reward. وَلَذَّةُ الْمَعَاصِي تَذْهَبْ وَيَبْقَى عِقَابُهَا. And that beautiful taste that you felt when you did the sin, that goes away. And what stays is the punishment. What stays is that regret that you feel inside. That moment when you looked at haram, you don't feel that comfort afterwards. That beautiful taste that you may have felt went away. And now that what stays is that regret that you have inside you. That day when you got up and you prayed during Ramadan and you stayed up hours praying, that moment now you forgot the hardship that you faced. But what stays is the reward. So when a person faces sin, you remind yourself that this right now will be a moment of feeling good. That's temporary, but will be a forever regret. That's why when some people come and they tell me, Hashim, I feel an urge to do this haram. I tell them, if you enter this haram, it will leave a spot, it will leave a memory that will not go away. If you enter this haram relationship, you will be 60, 70 years old. And you may do tawbah, you may ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgiveness, and He may forgive you, but it will always stay in your memory. You will always remember that moment when you slipped. It will always stay there. So when a person is about to do good, remind yourself that the effect of this good will stay. And the hardship that I faced will go away. And when I do bad, the effect of this will stay. and the regret will stay forever. And that temporary feeling of goodness and of taste, that taste of good when you're doing something bad, that will go away. And the thing that will stay is the effect. And in the end, we are all stories. Every single day you are writing a story for yourself. You are writing and you are publishing a story that will be published on the Day of Judgment. So make sure that that story is being written correctly.